Today I want to talk about computers a little bit again, because why not? Especially the hardware, the case, the cables, and the monitors, because the more of these things you have, the more complicated life is. Not to mention my long-term plans of putting more stuff into my computer. It's not like I wouldn't put a lot of stuff in my computer anyways, all the time.
Now listen, there is this thing going on in the computer industry that leaving the side of your case open is useful because it lets the extra air out. Now, there are all sorts of crazy things. If you have your computer on your desktop, as it's supposed to be, then that's different because it needs to be an ornament of some sort. But if you have it down below, it really doesn't matter, does it?
This case is incredibly old. I mean, holy cow. And as you can see, the side is quite open. And that's good. Now, this is admittedly a horrible build because it's just a almost 15-year-old house and there's very little cable management. But the trick is that I always fiddle with it. I always change something. I put an extra hard drive, remove a hard drive, something. And it's just not feasible for me to always have that dance where I remove the things. Also, because this is an old house, you wouldn't believe how horrible the thermals are if you leave the side on it.
I mean, admittedly, this house was built for something like a Celeron, if you remember it. I think that Celeron is still a thing, but now it's all i5, i7, i9 nowadays. And yeah, I mean, admittedly, I've got 3 monitors here. So you'd think that, okay, well, that's kind of alright, because there aren't a lot of cables, and oh my god, look at all the cables, jeez, no!
Oh my god, more cables. Oh no, that's quite horrible. Ah, good lord.
Cables are the bane of computer stuff. Cables are everywhere, and admittedly, if I didn't move my desk every 3 months and to figure out how to do things better, then it would be alright, because I guess I could hide them and make a really stylish desk, but there is no time. And this video is really about, whether you can leave the case open or not. It really depends on what you want your computer to be, because loads of people want the computer to be not their life, but just another tool they use. But in my case, if I'm really philosophical and emotional about it, the computer is my life, at least a big part of my life.
So as you can see, it's just a thing. It's a constant DIY project that's just going on. Some people fiddle with their cars or build a shed. Well, I just fiddle with my computer. And admittedly, for the sake of fiddling with it, because there is no point to go further. Even one of these monitors would be more or less enough. You can get used to it. I mean, loads of times I'm using only the Mac with one tiny screen, and that's fine. Although I always think that when I have to do something classified as serious work, then I just sit down, buckle up, open 5 million windows and then do it. And I know that sometimes I have this thought that, why not leave that whole thing behind and just concentrate on having a laptop and that's it. Because admittedly, we live in a virtual world. Facebook does not require this kind of hardware, or even if I write some scripts, it's not required. but it does make life easier. Even though most of the videos are admittedly language or Hungary related, still, I am curious about what kind of crazy systems do you dream up? What is the ideal number of monitors that one should work on? Because as you've seen, I've got one in portrait mode for mostly emails or Word documents. That I find really useful. And I've got this ultra wide, which is really good. It's kind of cinematic when it comes to gaming. And then that one. But obviously, I've accumulated these things throughout a number of years, as you might have noticed my almost 15-year-old case. Anyways, I've asked my question. This is the end of the video. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.